South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Hi, I'm Kurt Angle. I represented the United States in the Olympics in 1996 and won a gold medal. Then I parlayed that into a pro wrestling career. I saw a commercial a few years ago.
Tunnel to Towers Foundation made a promise.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is paying off the mortgages for Gold Star families with young children. I thought, this is really cool. I want to be a part of it. My dad served in the Army for 30 years. We didn't have a lot of money, but he made sure we had what we needed. He set a great example for all of us. He died in a construction accident my freshman year in high school. When he died, we didn't have any income coming in, and we ended up being forced to move out of our house. I was devastated. So I understand what these families are going through, and to have an organization like Tunnel to Towers come in and pick you up and carry you and give you a home to live in, I think that's just amazing. I'd like to ask you to donate $11 a month to support these efforts by going to t2t.org or calling 1-844-BRAVEST.
Big-time, nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early Pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late Pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our Pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record Pick 6 payouts. Big-time, nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
All righty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. We come to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, right here at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard, of course, in your gaming capital. And, of course, from the South Point Studio Streaming Network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show. We welcome all of you listening to us as well on our websites, racedaylasvegas.com.vegas.world.global. If you're running around town, our local radio station, our anchor radio station here for Race Day, Sports Talk 1400 AM, 107.1 FM. And, of course, we take care of your devices, your iPhone, Android, and Google phones with the apps. You can get the apps, the YouTube app for listening and watching us on YouTube, and, of course, the KSHP app, listening through the radio station. And, of course, anywhere you get your podcasting as well. So simply put, however, wherever, whenever, welcome to the Race Day Show for this Wednesday as we ramp up another week covering the great sport of kings, Las Vegas style. And it's going to be an interesting week of racing, that's for sure. We got a lot of good stuff happening. But one of the biggest races of so far this season really comes this weekend. Now, you know, we saw the Haskell where journalism won, and he kept up his campaign for maybe 3-year-old of the year. Then we saw Sovereignty win the Jim Dandy over the weekend, and he's got his campaign going for the top 3-year-old. And sooner or later, they're going to have to meet the older horses in the handicap division, and that's when it gets real interesting. This week on Saturday, the handicap division will feature the Whitney Stakes out at Saratoga. This is going to be a good one, and I'll tell you why. They entered for the races there. Now, Todd Pletcher entered both Mind Frame and Fierceness in the race. But he already said that the only reason why he entered Mind Frame in the race is in case something happens to Fierceness between the time they entered and the time they get ready to run the Whitney on Saturday. If Fierceness stays the way he's supposed to, he's all set and ready to go, Mind Frame will be scratched. So you have Fierceness in there, and he's going to face Sierra Leone again. Now, these two have faced each other 5 times. Fierceness and Sierra Leone. You remember that Sierra Leone beat Fierceness in the big race, the Breeders' Cup Classic last year at Del Mar. In addition to that, White Abarrio was in this race. Now, if you recall, the last 2 Breeders' Cup Classic winners are in this race. White Abarrio won it a year before, and of course, Sierra Leone won it last year. So you've got those horses in that race. So, and by the way, Skippy Long Stockings is also in the race. So this is going to be one heck of a handicap showdown, the Whitney, getting the last 2 Breeders' Cup Classic winners together and getting a 5th rematch between Sierra Leone and Fierceness. It's going to be a fun race, and that's on Saturday. Now, Saratoga has 5 stakes races on Saturday. Of course, this is the big one, the Grade 1. But there are 3 other Grade 1s on the docket for Saturday at Saratoga as well. You have the Saratoga Special, and that brilliant 2-year-old Ewing is back in this race. Now, remember, Ewing ran off the screen and dropped Jaws in his last win. This 2-year-old is heading up the Saratoga Special. You have Johannes that's been running in Southern California that's shipping out to Saratoga. He's going to be one of the headliners in the 4-star Dave. You've got Hot as Hell, a horse that's coming in for the Saratoga Derby. Maybe it might be that horse might be the hunch bet of the weekend, Hot as Hell. And certainly in the test for the 2-year-old fillies, Echo Sound, that fine filly Echo Sound is among the top contenders there. So it's going to be a big weekend out at Saratoga, those 5 stakes races there. In the meantime, Ellis Park is holding their Kentucky Downs preview weekend. There'll be 3 stakes races on Saturday at Ellis Park, Kentucky Downs preview races for their races. for the ladies' turf, the Mint Millions turf, and the Nashville Derby will be on Saturday. And then on Sunday, 3 more Kentucky Downs preview races at Ellis Park. That will be the Turf Cup preview, the ladies' turf mile, and the turf sprint, in addition to another stakes race there as well. So we got some really good stuff happening this weekend. And, of course, we always have all that good stuff that's happening where the turf meets the surf at Del Mar. So it's going to be an exciting weekend, that's for sure. Now, when we last talked to you over the weekend, we told you, we plugged that on John Lindo's Thoroughbred LA show on Sunday after we were done, they were going to have the head of Del Mar, Josh Rubenstein, on as a guest there to talk about this ongoing concern with the CAWs, the computer-assisted wagering. Now, Del Mar put out a release on that. Josh Rubenstein did his interview there. And, of course, we have reaction on that as well. And so we're going to get to the reaction from Jonathan Hardoon and John Lindo, et cetera, today about what happened on that and what they're doing. They have done something at Del Mar to kind of negate all of the pressure they've been getting from us horse players about this ridiculous CAW stuff, blowing down the odds on a lot of horses running in the races that during the running of the race. But we'll wait and see if that really is going to solve the problem. We'll wait and see about that. So we'll discuss that as well. Jonathan Hardoon is with us today. Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J will be along. Dwayne Colucci will not. He's down at Del Mar relaxing on his little vacation there. So I can't wait until Colucci gets back with us next week to talk about his experiences at Del Mar, that's for sure. But Dwayne won't be with us today from the Rampart. Other news to talk about, Thistledown has canceled racing after their first race on Monday at Thistledown. You know, they've been having their problem with the racetrack itself, the composition of the racetrack. They canceled races last week, the week before, because the jocks were complaining that there were rocks in the racetrack, in the main track. Well, after they ran the first race on Monday, after they thought they had it solved, they didn't. And so they canceled the races after that, and after a week-long shutdown, they still didn't solve the problem there. So now Thistledown is going to be canceled until further notice, until we can find out what's going on there. Dazzle D'Oro had a catastrophic injury in that first race at Thistledowns. Dazzle D'Oro did not have the break. He had a breakdown on the Oklahoma training track at Saratoga when prepping for the Saratoga Special. Dazzle D'Oro had a catastrophic breakdown on the track at Saratoga that had nothing to do with the Thistledown. Okay? So there's just a couple of other quick notes on racing. And we want to congratulate Tyler Sprague. He's from Las Vegas. He went down to Del Mar last weekend to play in the 22nd Annual Summer Challenge Handicapping Contest there. It was a 2-day contest, and he won it. He started with a $4,000 bankroll. That was the starting point for the handicappers there. And he built it up to $26,600 and won that contest. The Las Vegan winning the Summer Challenge Handicapping Contest at Del Mar last weekend. He beat the runner-up by over $4,400. So there you have it. Okay, we have a lot to cover on today's show. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a quick recap of what happened on Sunday at Del Mar on Sunday. There was a disqualification in the second race. Placed first through the disqualification was Arrow the Great, which was disqualified from that race. And placed second, Ultimate Gamble, was placed first through the disqualification. A lot of people thought that the horse should be disqualified after the bumping near the finish line and a close finish at that. Mark Glatt was the trainer of the horse that was put up in that race. Kazuchi Kimura was the rider, paying $520. In the third race, a turf race at 5 furlongs, you guessed it, Hector Barrios wins that for Jeff Mullins, paying $520. That was Barrios' first win of the day. In the fourth race, John Lindo's selection for us, Essential Nation, got there under David Cohen, paying $9.20 for Peter Miller's first winner. So thanks a lot to John Lindo for his pick on the show, and a winner in the fourth race, paying $9.20 on Sunday. Hector Barrios' second win of the day came in another turf race. So Barrios won 2 turf races in the first 5 races at Del Mar on Sunday. This one for Doug O'Neill, paying $7.80. Serafin Carmona won his very first Del Mar win ever by guiding Madeira Wine to win the 6th race for Manuel Batia, paying $20 even. Juan Hernandez got his first win of the day in the 7th race for Peter Miller's second winner on the day, paying $4.40. Then you had Hernandez come right back for Bob Baffert in the 8th race on Usha. Usha won and paid $11.80. The reason why Baffert had this horse paying $11.80 in this race, in this maiden race, is because they bet down Margarita Girl to the 1-2 favorite in the race, and she got beat. Never was really in that race. Ursa wins it for Baffert and Hernandez, paying an unusual $11.80. In the Eddie Reed Stakes, winner there was Formidable Man under a great ride by Umberto Rispoli for Mike McCarthy. This horse is 5 for 5 now on the turf at Del Mar. Formidable Man paid $3.60, outrunning Cabo Spirit and Stay Hot. And in the final race of the day, Juan Hernandez got his 3rd win of the day for Liberato Baracci, paying $5.60. All that put together, your pick 6 at Del Mar on Sunday paid over $5,300. Saratoga, want to thank Rich Eng for a winner in the very first race on Sunday at Saratoga. Richie's pick. Our Liberty Bell reported home under Irad Ortiz Jr. for Wayne Potts, paying $9.30 there. That was Irad's first win of the day. Ricardo Santana got his first win in the second race for Jorge Abreu, paying $4.60. And then Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez got together in a 2-year-old maiden race on the main track, Tappett's Legacy, paying $3.30 in the third race. Irad got his second win of the day in the 4th for Ray Handel, paying $18 even. Ricardo Santana got his second win of the day for Jenna Antonucci in the 5th race, paying $7.90. And Joel Rosario and Charlton Baker got together to win the 6th race, paying $20.40. In the Glen Falls Stakes, the 7th on the card, La Mahina won for Flavian Pratt. That was Miguel Clement, the trainer. Clement actually finished 1st and 2nd. His Beliza finished 2nd in the race and long ago finished 3rd. La Mahina paid $7 even. That was Jerry J's pick on the show. Not only did Jerry J get the $7 winner, but his link-ups hooked up to win the exacta for $1, paying $9.70. The link-ups came with the trifecta for 50 cents that paid $13.87. And if you played a 10-cent superfecta, his link-ups got there with that as well. That 10-cent superfecta paid at $5.25 for a dime. All right, Rosario and Baker came back together again to win the 8th race. 2 for them in that team, Rosario and Baker, in the 8th race, paying $8.50. And then Junior Alvarado and Belmont, they got together to win the 9th race at $17.60. Mott finished 1st and 2nd in the 9th race there at Saratoga. And if you played the Mott exacta, that dollar exacta came back $73.75 for an Hall of Famer there. Nobody hit the pick 6 on Sunday at Saratoga, which means there is an instant horse player holiday today. Saratoga has a pick 6 carryover for today, exceeding $132,000. That's what happened over the weekend. We got a lot that's going on today, so without any further ado, we'll get to our first break. When we come back, your racing menu, and then our handicappers talking about what they think of what they're doing with CAW and the reaction over the weekend. Don't go away.
South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Big-time nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record pick 6 payouts. Big-time nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Wednesday as we kick off another week covering the great sport of horse racing. It looks like the weather is going to be all related and centered around the heat. There are excessive heat warnings going on in a lot of parts of the country. As far as the precipitation, it looks like it's going to be fine at all the racetracks around the country that are running today. However, we are going to forewarn you that these racetracks can either cancel their racing cancel their racing day, I should say. Cancel their racing day as they get closer to post time if the heat is too intense, or they might delay the post time. So this is the way it lines up right now, but be forewarned that there have been several racetracks over the last couple of days that have either delayed or canceled their racing because of the excessive heat. Now, when we're looking at temperatures, New York City, 95, Miami, 90, Chicago, 83. You've got, here in Las Vegas, right now it's 81 degrees. We're going to get up to 106, so don't forget to stay hydrated now. You know, we're on the cusp of a heat warning here as well, so just stay hydrated. If you feel dehydrated, it'll be too late, so make sure get a lot of water around you and keep the kids and the pets inside a lot. Don't have them outside. 106 degrees today. Phoenix, Arizona is the hottest spot in the country. Again, it's going to be 111 there. But when you get up to the 90s and pushing, like Memphis, Tennessee is going to be 99 today. In those part of the country, when you get into the 90s, it's like 120 here in Vegas. And that's when they'll make a decision on whether these tracks should cancel or not. So, but right now, everything is a go. Everybody's a go today. So here's your racing menu of racetracks available today in the racebook, simulcast centers and racetracks as we have them right now. First post times Pacific, you know the deal. If you're not in the Pacific time zone, adjust to it so you don't miss anything. I miss mom and dad. Okay, we are in the Pacific time zone. These will be the first post times rolling out in the racebook today at the South Point. All right, we begin with Colonial Downs. Colonial Downs has 9 races, and their first post time at Colonial Downs today is set at 9:30 at Colonial. Next comes Delaware Park. Delaware Park has 9 races as well, and their first post time at Delaware Park is at 9:30 as well. Belterra Park. They have 8 races at Belterra, and a first post time at Belterra set at 9:35. Saratoga gets underway at 10:10 today. Their feature race is the Johnson. The Johnson is the 8th race on the card, 7 furlongs, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And it's 11 filly field before any scratches. Favorite in the race is Sterling Silver at 5-2 with Junior Alvarado. You've got 9 races today at Saratoga. Remember that the Pick 6 has a carryover today. Pick 6 will start in the 4th race. 4th race will start the Pick 6 with a carryover at Saratoga of $132,233. And it's a regular Pick 6. No jackpot, nothing. Regular Pick 6, $132,233. The first race will be a steeplechase race. Races 2 through 9 will be thoroughbreds. So keep that in mind. So the Pick 5, the early Pick 5, will commence in the 2nd race. It'll go through the 6th race. The early Pick 4 will start in the 3rd race and go through the 6th race. First race is a steeplechase. First post time at Saratoga is set at 10:10 at Saratoga. Finger Lakes is next. Finger Lakes has a first post time of 10:15 for their 8-race card. Horseshoe Indianapolis, they've got 9 races today. The final race will be a quarter horse race. Got a couple of stakes races at Horseshoe Indianapolis. The First Lady Stakes will be the 7th with a full field there, and the Governor's Handicap will be the 8th, and again, a full field there. First post time at Horseshoe Indianapolis set at 11:10 at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Presque Isle Downs has 8 races today. Presque Isle Downs' first post time is set at 12:30 at Presque Isle. Louisiana Downs has a first post time of 2:05 for their 7-race card, 7 races at Louisiana Downs. And Penn National, with a super high 5 jackpot carryover of $5,203. They've got 8 races. Their first post time is at 2:45. Canterbury Park has their first post time for 10 races set at 3:10. The last 2 races will be quarter horses, and the first 8 will be thoroughbreds. Canterbury at 3:10. Did want to mention that Horseshoe Indianapolis does have a super high 5 carryover today of $4,474. That's your menu for today. All righty. We are now going to go to Mr. Jonathan Hardoon standing by. Good morning, Jonathan.
Hello, Ralph. How are you?
Well, I am fine, and I see you have survived over the weekend with all your criticism about CAW. And I know that you do the show with John Lindo and Bob Ike also over the weekend. And so I know they had Josh Rubenstein as a guest, the head of Del Mar, on Sunday addressing CAW. So fill us in, buddy.
Well, a lot of people certainly listened to it, but they really didn't get much out of it, Ralph, to be honest with you. You know, it was all about, I knew as soon as that interview was over, they'd be calling TVG and have them change their graphics. And sure enough, they did. You know, last week we showed the example on your show here where we circled the 8-1 on the winner. And then he paid $980, I believe. So they no longer will be showing the tote board on the side of the head-on view when they leave the gate. So people will not be able to notice the drastic odds drops unless you bet the horse. But in the interim, they went ahead and they instituted the NYRA rule, where they cut off win bets with 2 minutes to post. Honestly, that's a good short-term solution, but it's really not a solution because they're involved with all the other pools. The only thing they're doing by doing this is protecting their own, face. They're saving face because you won't see those drastic drops anymore. But unless you're charting exactas or doubles or anything like that, it's going to occur in all the other pools. So, people aren't going to notice it, and they're not going to notice that they're getting screwed unless you notice what your exact is paying before the race starts and then see the drastic drop. So while it certainly helps that they're cutting off the win bets with 2 minutes to post, they're really not solving the problem. They're just not solving the problem. They're just covering it up better, and they're looking to protect themselves, and that's what they're doing.
Well, Josh Rubenstein, the Del Mar Turf Club president, put out a release from Del Mar, and this is what it says. This is part of an overall effort to ensure an optimal wagering experience for fans on track at simulcast locations and those playing via our advanced deposit wagering partners. We had taken steps to encourage CAW players to process their win wagers earlier in the cycle, but it has become clear that we need to take additional measures. We will continue to do our best to create a racing and wagering product that appeals to all segments of the horse player market. I understand that, but there is one word that's missing out of this entire
statement.
Yeah, the entire statement, the entire press release, as a matter of fact. The word is fair. It has to be fair to the people who are not part of this little, computer-assisted wagering.
Society. I call it the secret society. We're not part of the secret society.
Yeah. Now, I know they're making attempts, and that's good. I understand that they're making attempts. But my first reaction is they're just shifting the monies that you could see that were betting on the win horses.
They're covering
wait a minute, and they're putting it into the exact and trifecta pools now. So here you have a horse that might be 9-1 and wins maybe at 8-1, and then a horse that runs second, and you compute, to a pretty good degree, horse players are, oh yeah, my exactor should pay $52, $60. Yeah. Now it pays 30 or 28, and it's the same feeling. It's going to be the same feeling. You're sitting there saying, what happened here?
But it's not exposed to the public.
Exactly.
It's only exposed if you hit it. So they're going to get away with this nonsense for a while. But again, it's not the answer, Ralph. It's not the answer. What they did is all they're doing is covering their own behinds. That's what they're doing. That by the people not listen. You notice the odds when it's a win bet. You're not going to notice the drops in exactas unless you're involved in it. So while they could sell it for a little while, that what a great thing they did, it's really not so great. They just kicked the can down the road, in my opinion.
Well, let me, to be all fair and honest here on this show, we're going to give them a benefit of the doubt and see how this shakes out. If it shakes out in a way that we think is still not fair, then I hope they can come back and adjust again, because they already adjusted. They asked the CAWs to do this ahead of time. They didn't do it. So now they said, okay, now we're going to put the squeeze and tell you have to. Now,
why not do it all? Why not do everything? Shut everything off to CAW with 2 minutes of post. Why don't they do that? If that's the way to go, if that's the answer for win betting, well, it should also be the answer for exotics and horizontal wages. Why don't they cut CAW off with 2 minutes to post?
I agree on that, because if just cut it all off and you'll be done with it.
That's it.
I want to know somebody, and I would wish, and this goes out to anybody out there who is a computer-assisted wagering person. I'd love to have you on the show to tell me, why is it important for you to have the access to this in the late seconds before the race starts?
Because they're filling in bets that weren't made where there's still value. It's a computer program.
Right.
That knows how to read.
It's exactly right. It's one of those analog things, I think.
Right. And it's figuring out, well, the 5-4 exact is paying $20 too much, so we got to pile on that number. And this number's paying less than it should be or more than it should be, so we're going to put money on that number. And it's all calculated within seconds, and it's thousands of bets.
Sure.
Again, it's a secret society. We have no access to it. It's what you call the secret society.
Well, I know there was at least at Del Mar, it took only a couple weeks for people either in powerful positions or certainly the mass of horse players that got together and made such a big deal out of it. They did something. There are other places. There are other places they didn't do it. So you got to.
Ralph, it's the first time I could ever remember the horse player's voice is actually being heard about something, because it was so blatant and so ridiculous. Everybody got involved, even, Steve Anderson, guys that would never write about it that are in big places. So everybody saw it. You couldn't hide it anymore. They had no choice. They were backed into a situation where they had no choice. I still have the best idea that nobody wants to listen to. Run 4 races a day for CAW, the rest of the races to the public. The CAW races that you run, lower the takeout to 12% for the average player, so everybody gets a little of something. But they'll never do it because there's billions of dollars involved with the handle, with all the money they're betting.
Well, we certainly come up with a lot of ideas on this show. I guess most of the horse players like mostly what we say or do, but because we're one of you, we play the races, and
you
that's
have skin in the game.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see about that. But that particular thing is gonna start on Thursday, I understand, when they come back racing, right? Tomorrow they're gonna start that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, watch TVG. Well, it doesn't matter now. They'll probably put the old graphics back, but it took them one day to get rid of them. It was amazing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll certainly see.
They're all in cahoots.
Yeah, Mr. Cahoots is alive and kicking, right? Okay, now, getting that politics out of the way, we got some great races coming up this weekend, and the Whitney's going to be a real doozy.
It certainly is. I have a little interest in that race, believe it or not. I have a 50-1 shot running in there, Ralph. I thought the field would be 5 or 6 horses like it's always been the last couple of years, but my luck, I entered, and they put 10 horses in the race. Mama's Gold is running in that race, 50-1 morning line. I could tell you he's never doing better than he's doing now, but he's got no shot against that field.
All right, let me ask you this. Your horse, I would imagine, at least from past performance, will be in the first echelon?
He's going to the lead. Catch me if you. What I'm hoping, Ralph, is maybe they'll all figure, that guy's got no shot, and just ignore him, and he'll keep going. Listen, it's Saratoga. You've seen 50-1s win before, and you've seen it's the graveyard of favorites. So, listen, you have the big three there: Sierra Leone, Fierceness, and one of the Saffie Joseph horses. I know Mindframe's coming out, and I think one of the Saffie Joseph horses is coming out because the Charlestown Derby is coming up, I think, in 2 weeks, and one of those horses win it every year. So, I'd be surprised if he passed.
Well, we know Skippy Longstocky isn't. He's a 6-year-old. If they're talking about a Derby, he's not going to be in that race. Right.
No, but there's a race at Charlestown. The Charlestown, it's their big race every year.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
He's got White Barrio in the race, and he's got Skippy Longstocky.
I think won it the last couple of years, if I'm correct. I don't remember, but it's one of those two. So.
It can't be a Derby though. It's got to be some other name.
It's not a Derby. It's a Charlestown big stake. It's $1 million.
Oh, the Charlestown Classic.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Skippy Longstocking has won that thing a couple of years. Okay, so let's assume he comes out. White Barrio stays in. So you got Mindframe that drew the rail. You got Skippy.
He's out though. He's out for sure.
I understand that. I understand. Okay. Mindframe drew the rail. Skippy Longstocking drew the 2-hole. These two will now, for all intents and purposes, be out of the race. They're going to be scratched. So Highland Falls will be the horse that breaks from the rail. You're going to break from the 2-hole, Mama's Gold, although saddlecloth number 4, but that'll come out of the 2-hole. Sierra Leone will be next. Then you have Disarm in the race. Steve Asmussen and Joel Rosario. Then you have White Barrio, Contrary Thinking, Fierceness, and Post Time are the others in the race. Now, Fierceness obviously was installed the favorite in the race, and which is logical. It should be. And Sierra Leone is the second choice in the race. But it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And that's part of 5 great stakes races at Saratoga on Saturday. I'm interested to see Ewing in the Saratoga Special too.
Yeah, that horse ran unbelievable first time out. The horse had a Knicks go. You can't win more impressively than he did, and now he's got to repeat or improve off of that. I don't even think he has to improve off of that race to beat that field, and it's going to be interesting. He ran super. And. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the weather cooperates, even though personally I'm rooting for rain, but let's hope the weather cooperates.
In any case, the other race that I'm interested in obviously is 4-Star Dave because Johannes comes from the West Coast to go there at Saratoga and run in that race. So that'll be interesting too.
Yeah, he's coming off of a layoff, but he's a terrific turf horse. It's going to be interesting. Usually the East Coast turf horses that ship west do well. And the West Coast dirt horses that ship east do well, but not often you'll see a West Coast turf horse come here. But that's going to be the case.
No, because you got to go up against Chad Brown and the Godolphin folks, and
Clement and the rest of them.
Right? Yeah. All right. Well, outside the first race, if horses jump over the fence, we have a problem at Saratoga. But the first race is the hurdles, so we're okay there. Let's get a winner.
The weather is nice today, Ralph. It's going to get hot up into the 90s later in the day, but as we speak, it's beautiful here.
All right. So let's get a winner.
Let's go to the 7th race, 1 3/8 on the inner turf. And I like the number 7 horse in here, Wall Officer, 5-year-old gelding from the Todd Pletcher barn. Steady and consistent, fires every time. We're right to switch today to Louis Saez, 7-2 on the morning line. This is a pick 6 single, in my opinion, in today's 7th race out at Saratoga.
1 3/8 on the inner turf course, the 7 and the 7th, easy to remember. Number 7 in the 7th race at Saratoga. And, of course, Jonathan has a full sheet right now at his website. And, Jonathan, don't have any more coffee because you're already wound up enough. Just sit down and relax and enjoy yourself today. Thanks a lot.
All right, Ralph. I'll walk around the block a few times. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Stay safe and be well.
All right. You got it, my man. And you guys out there knew he was going to do this. So, all right. Well, now we'll come back with Rich Eng, John Lindo, and Jerry J. Yet, so don't go away.
Here we are in Houston. opening up our first veteran village. This beautiful building that's going to house 161 homeless veterans. Any veteran that risks their lives and they're struggling with PTSD, mental illness, addiction. We're also building what I call comfort homes, 500 square foot homes. These are for older homeless veterans, so they have their own space, and give them back some of their dignity, some of their independence, and most certainly give them back their life. Go to T2T.org to learn how you can change a veteran's life forever.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Well, our chatters are chatting away, that's for sure, and you can join them by just getting to the YouTube page of Race Day. And if you haven't already subscribed, do the subscription. It's free. And then you can get in there and start talking about all the good stuff and your thoughts about horse racing. All right, now let's go to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, we'll get your 2 cents about CAW and what they did at Del Mar. What do you think?
Well, I heard you and Jonathan talking about it and the press release out of Del Mar. And, you know, a key word that you guys brought up was fairness, meaning, you know, if the CAWs have an advantage over the horse players, yes or no. And the thing is, Ralph, they will always have an advantage over the horse players. And I'll tell you why is because the reason the odds changes so quickly is that they have an interface with the tote system, and they're able to jam hundreds, thousands of dollars into the wagering pools literally with the click of the mouse.
Yeah.
And so that's an unfair advantage that they will always have over us, ham and egg, you know, horse players.
Yeah, and that, you know, that's, you know, it's something that we don't have or we can't utilize. And until it changes, there's always going to be that element no matter what you do. All right, Richie, you had a nice winner for us on Sunday at Saratoga in the first race there, a nice $9 mutual. Let's parlay that and start the week off right.
Yeah, I'm going to try to warm up a jockey who's been very cold this meet, Dylan Davis. But if you remember last year, he had a phenomenal Saratoga, and things have just not broken right or well for him this year. But let's go to race number 2, Ralph, 7 furlong sprint. And I like him on the number 4 horse, Embraceable Gal. This is a dead late closer for trainer Rob Atras, but the last time this horse won was at 7 furlongs at Aqueduct. I think he'll get a nice setup. He'll be in the hunt late. Let's go with number 4, Embraceable Gal in the second.
All right, second race, number 4, Embraceable Gal, the 4 in the second race. Richie has a full sheet for Del Mar when it starts out tomorrow. And Richie, I want to thank you and for the winner on Sunday, and let's parlay it to this week and start off the week right. And we will talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, you got it, my man. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, John Lindo, I'm sure he has a thought or two about what happened over the weekend. And, of course, Jerry J as well. Don't go away.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
Big-time nighttime pools are always at Los Alamitos, with early pick 4 pools of more than $175,000 on most nights, and a late pick 4 pool of more than $150,000 on most nights. Plus, our pick 6 pools have reached record figures in 2025, including a total pool of over $370,000 on June 15th, and record pick 6 payouts. Big-time nighttime pools every weekend at Los Alamitos.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Wednesday as we kick off a very interesting week of racing, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Now we're going to go to Southern California, where John Lindo is standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, my man. Well, your show had Josh Rubenstein on Sunday. They came out with a press release. They're doing some other stuff, so you're opine.
Well, first of all, it's not a perfect solution, but hats off to Del Mar for taking a good first step. I mean, I'm glad they acknowledged, what was obvious to so many horse players, that there was a problem here. And instead of, we're going to talk about it, which is what he said on the radio, but they did something about it. And that's the most important thing. And I think what they did do, shutting the win betting off at 2 minutes to post, it does a lot of things. Number one, Ralph, it should restore some of the confidence in the bettors. I can go bet in the win pool now, having a pretty good idea of what the price of my horse is going to be. So I will play more often. And that's going to create more churn because I'm going to go race to race on those bets, and I'll fire more win bets out there. Number two, this is like one of the first bets or rules from a perception standpoint that actually helps the horse players. They've been ignored. You see all the vet protocols, the rules about when you can work on a track and when you can't. They've always kind of left the horse players out of the thought process. It's nice to see that they're actually considering these players. And the other thing, Ralph, yes, these CW companies are going to continue in some of the exotic pools, but you don't have to play them. I just want more pools and bets that I can play. One of the reasons that when I don't do a full card at Saratoga, I do the late pick 5. It's a 15% takeout, and it's a retail bet, no CAW. So you have to identify the pools that you have the best chance at turning a profit in the long run.
I think that's a very smart way to look at it, that for sure. But for the people who do bet exactas and trifectas, etc., it still doesn't address the problem for them. But like you said, it's a good start. And John, I got to tell you, with you guys having him on your show on Sunday, and all the people that that write for and cover the racing industry were all talking about this, that they had to succumb to the pressure because it really got to an intense point over the weekend.
Well, it was the elephant in the room,
Yeah.
and there's no ignoring it. You can try and sweep it under the table. We weren't going to let it go because it's affecting us. So,
Yeah.
Either you do something about it, we have to make a decision whether we support your product or not. So, and that's gonna be how it moves forward, in the long run. So we'll see how these things go, and let's see what happens with the handle. And just to give you an idea, Ralph, on how the CAWs bet, the early pick 5 on Sunday at Del Mar with a 14% takeout, which limits the rebates, obviously, that can be given to the CAW companies. That early pick 5 handled $817,000. The late pick 5 with a normal 23.68% takeout, which obviously the rebates can come into play for the CAW companies. The late pick 5 handle was $1.3 million. That tells me there's an awful lot of CAW money coming into those type of wagers, and that's what we have to battle.
Yeah, there's no question about that. But with guys like yourself and with programs like yours and ours and all the others, we're going to keep an eye on that and see. We're not putting a blame on anybody. What we're saying is the people who have the power to make the difference and make it fair, or as fair as it can be for us, we're going to keep an eye on that. That's all.
Right.
All right.
And one other thing too, Ralph, you got to give hats off to not only Del Mar but Santa Anita. That $3 late pick 3 and the $5 late double, those are both 15% takeout bets. those are helping to eliminate those CAWs in those pools as well.
Maybe the answer is just make all the takeouts 15% and stop this silliness in all the pools. That'd be an easy answer.
Well, that makes too much sense.
Right. Well, yes, I don't want to ever think I'm smarter than them. Anyhow, your Lindo report for this week.
I've got the late pick 5 today at Saratoga. We'll do the full 13 race card on Whitney Day. It's just a good card with some terrific maiden races. Mm-hmm. Working on that, and we'll do Del Mar Thursday through Sunday.
All right, you got it. But you got a pick for us today. You got a Lindo report covering the last 5 races today at Saratoga, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And it's in the South Point Racebook right now, free of charge, exclusively here, by the way. It's the only place you can get it here in Vegas is in the South Point Racebook, the Lindo report, because they love horseplays here, the last 5 races. But we'll ask you to give us a pick anywhere on the card.
Race number 6 at Saratoga, number 10, Sharp Mindset. The one work on turf was better than the dirt works that this horse has had. Debuts in a 5.5 furlong sprint on the grass for the hot Joe Sharp stable. I think grass is what this horse wants. Good outside post where they can kind of pick and choose where they want to be in the race. Jose Ortiz aboard. 7-2 in the program, number 10, Sharp Mindset, race number 6, Saratoga.
6th race at Saratoga, number 10, Sharp Mindset. The 10 in the 6th race at Saratoga, John Lindo's pick for us. And John, just tell Mr. Ike did a great job with Josh Rubenstein on Sunday.
Yeah, and thanks to Josh for coming on. He didn't have to, but he did.
Yes. Thanks a lot, John. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. Good luck.
All right, now we're going to go to Jerry Jackowitz with his Tiger Woods hat on there. Jerry, good morning.
Pebble Beach, Tiger Woods, and golfy today.
Okay. Give me your pick first, and then you can talk about the thing that we had a shortcut before.
Okie doke. Well, we'll go to the 4th race today. It's at Saratoga.
All right.
Number 7, Masterpiece, is coming back. This is his 3rd race of the season. It's a 9-year-old roan who's just a marvelous long-distance horse. Mm-hmm. Won the Red Smith, won the Fort Marcy last year. He's very well suited to the 1 3/8 distance he's going to get today. And he looks like he's coming into form to me. So he needed a little break after last year. He raced in May, showed a little speed. And last time out, he ran kind of an even race, started to close a little bit, going a 1 16th. He's now going out to where he belongs.
Okay.
So I think at 5-1, he's a great bet. I read up. I'll take the 7 over the 1, 2, and 5 and 6, but I'm sort of thinking of dropping the 6 if you want to know. But really, 7 over 1, 2, 5, and maybe 6 to break even.
Okay, the 6 is 7-5 on the morning line. I know you hate to waste money on the favorite if you're trying to beat him, but the play is the 7 over 1.
I might bet him just enough to break even. That's all. So.
The play is the 7.
If I lose to him.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. The play is the 7 over 1, 2, 5, and just enough to break even with the 6 and reverse, correct?
Sounds right to me.
Okay. Now, you were talking about horses breaking through the starting gate, and they should automatically be scratched.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, whoever heard of the idea that any horse being put into the gate for the starting gate should have a disadvantage to anybody else other than what the position of the gate is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be inconceivable if you went to management and said, it's fair for 7 horses, but the 8th horse it's unfair for. What owner would stand for that? What bettor would feel that they should be betting horses if one of their horses is just totally got no shot? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying this is true. The next statement I'm going to say, I'm just saying it's true in my recollection. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I never remember any horse I think I remember in a stakes race once, but in a claiming race, I don't remember any claimer ever breaking through the gate and running down a little bit, getting pulled back, put in the gate, and then winning. Now, I'm sure it's happened. I'm not saying.
Well, I got to tell you right now, I agree with you 100%. The one universal kiss of death for anybody who's a player that knows this game, watching the races, when your horse breaks through the starting gate, you can't get to canceling that bet fast enough. And
right.
whether it's just a coincidence or not, I have no idea. But that is a universal kiss of death for guys, and I agree with you there. And
it's totally unfair. And I want to go one step further.
Sure.
And the fact that I know this and that the people who are running races don't know it or can't figure it out just amazes me. The hardest step a horse takes is the very first step they take in the race.
Mm-hmm.
So in the case of the horse that's broken through the gate, he's taken that first step twice, once by accident and once, where all the others only have to take that first step the first time. Remember, they're a 1,000-pound animal going from zero into speed. It doesn't look hard, but it is hard. It physically demands a certain amount of energy. So that horse is running, maybe his tank is only 90% filled up or 95%. It's just unfair. And the idea that there's an obvious unfairness, because every time a horse goes into the gate, the vet's looking at it to see if they have a fair chance to win.
Sure.
Now we know they have no fair chance to win, and the vet is like approving them to go in the gate. It's insane. It's just insanity.
Maybe, and we have to close up now, but maybe a little bit of a change in that rule might be when the horse breaks through the gate, ask the trainer if he wants to scratch him or not. Be done with it. Maybe that could be the answer.
I got a better one. Ask the better.
Yes, but it'd take a little bit.
Then the answer will be no.
You're absolutely right on that one. That's for sure. In any case,
screw the trainer, screw the owner.
I understand. We got to go, Jerry. We got a time snap here, so go ahead and say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.